that if I were you.
Wouldn't do what?
What you're thinking of doing.
How do you know what I was thinking?
Oh, we make it our business to know a lot of things.
Look, whatever you're selling, I'm not interested. Just leave me alone.
No, you don't understand.
I said leave me alone!
I thought you said this was going to be easy. But he just won't listen. I know. When at first you don't succeed, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever read Tom Sawyer?
What?
Now there's an industrious man. When all his ships were down, he never gave up. Remember why?
Who cares?
He did, George. He cared about others, about the people who needed him.
You called me George. How do you know my name?
Oh, I watched you grow up from a little boy.
That's impossible. I've never seen you around before.
You haven't needed to until now. How's the lip? Looks like it stopped bleeding.
That's the answer I got to a prayer a little bit ago.
Oh, no, George. I'm the answer to your prayers.
And who are you?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody? AS2. What's AS2?
Angel second class?
Great. Now I know I've lost my mind.
Not yet, but you were well on your way. Besides, who would think of killing themselves for measly $8,000?
How could you know about that?
I've been trying to tell you. I'm your guardian angel.
Alright. Well, you look like some kind of guardian angel I get anyhow. What happened to your wings? Were you some sort of fallen angel?
I haven't earned my wings yet. But you're going to chance all that, now aren't you?
I am? How?
By letting me help you.
Sorry. The only way you can help me is to give me $8,000 before the clock strikes midnight. After that, my life turns into a pumpkin.
Remember, we don't use money in heaven.
I keep forgetting that. Well, down here you can't live without it, and truth be told, I'm worth a lot more dead than alive.
You mustn't say things like that. Why, if it hadn't been for you...
If it hadn't been for me, everybody I know would be a lot better off. My wife, my kids, my friends.
You sure have a lot of friends, I'll give that to you. Do you know they've jammed up our airwaves for the past hour now?
What are you talking about?
Prayers. Why, when they're heartfelt, they're mighty missiles. And they've lit up your whole celestial system.
Why?
Because people care about you, George.
Since when?
Since you saved your brother from drowning in the eyes.
That was only instinct. Besides, I was 12.
There were other boys there too, George. Much older and better swimmers. But they didn't nod to their instincts. Only you did.
He was my brother.
Okay then, what about the time when you saved Mr. Gower from the ruin? That was an instinct. That was deep-seated, heart-wrenched, full of guts, courage.
He had just received a telegram telling him his son had died.
That's right, and he's been getting me through and through, from drowning stars in a pot.
George, are you out there? I'm sorry, Mrs. Blaine. That medicine should have been there an hour ago. I promise it'll be over in 5 minutes. Where's Mrs. Blaine's glass of capsule? Why aren't you living?
I couldn't.
What do you mean you live? What kind of tricks are you playing, young man?
You're hurting my serum, Mr. Gower.
You lazy loafer!
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules.
What are you talking about?
I know you're unhappy. You got that telegram today and it upsets you. I understand that, but you put something wrong in those capsules. I'm sure you did.
How do you mean?
Just look and see for yourself. I tried to tell you when you were filming the unit, but you wouldn't listen. Look at the bottle you took the powder from. It's not right. I swear it isn't.
Oh no.
Don't do my Sarah again. I won't tell anyone, Mr. Gower. I know what you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul. Hope to die I won't.
Oh, George.
And you never did. Not to this day. Why, that's remarkable.
Mr. Gower always did care about young people. He gave a lot of us our first jobs.
He sure did. And what about the time when he gave you that handsome suitcase, when you were finally going off to college?
That was 1,000 years ago.
May you always use it in good health, George.
Oh, Mr. Gower, how can I ever thank you?
By graduating with honors. That would make us all very proud.
Got a chance.
A label bet, little brother.
Ken, I gotta go to the dance. How do I look?
Like a goon in a penguin suit. Where's the funeral?
That's enough, you two. You look very nice here.
Of course he does. It's my tux.
So, Aunt Tilly, what's your verdict? Do I look good enough to eat?
If you lay one hand on me, young man, I'll hit you with this purse.
Oh, Aunt Tilly, you know I love you, and it's a woman out. Mom, I gotta go in the car. Some plates and stuff.
Whose place?
I'm head of the Eats Committee. We're short a couple of them.
Now, Harry, you can't use your grandmother's fine china. It was her mother's before that.
Yes, ma'am.
We're all gonna miss you, George.
I'm gonna miss you too, Violet.
Well, say, that's some dress you've got on there, Vi.
It's just a hand-me-down like Harry's.
Well, it sure is pretty, isn't it, George?
What? Oh, the dress. Yes, it's real nice, Violet.
I guess I better be going. The dance starts in another half an hour. You'll stop by, won't you?
I just might stop by later on.
I hope you could, George.
Hey, Bonnie, want me to Ernie walking down to the school?
That won't be necessary. Take care, George.
Come on, Ernie.
See you around, George. Hey, Uncle Billy. Where's Pop?
He's working late. Had to finish up a special report for boss.
You know, I thought when Dad put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us. What's eating that money-grubbing buzzard anyway?
Ooh, he's a sick man, George. Sick in his mind, sick in his soul. He has one. It's anyone who has anything that he can't have. It's us mostly, I guess.
Say, George, after you finish with college, you wouldn't consider coming back to Bedford Falls and working the building lumber, would you?
No, Uncle Billy. I'm sorry. I couldn't face being cooped up in that shabby little office for the rest of my life, trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe. I'd go crazy. I want to do something big, something important.
You know, George, your father and I like to think that we are doing something important. It's deep in the soul of a man to want his own walls, a roof over his head, a fireplace to sit beside, and we like to think we're helping him get those things.
But Billy, you've got to admit that this town's no place for any man unless it's one of harder. Now, you've got talent, George. We've all seen it. So you go on and get yourself an education. Get out of here if you must.
You have any idea what you want to do after college, George?
Sure. I want to build things like skyscrapers or maybe even cities. It's been a dream all my life.
Still after the first million before you're 30?
No, I'll settle for half that in cash.
Well, you ain't till you're not sure I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you all, that's for certain. Hey, would you mind taking this into the house? I think I'll drop in on Harry's dance.
Well, have a good time, son.
And you did too, remember? Why, that's the night you met Mary Hatch. Besides, you've known Mary all your life. She grew up 3 or 4 years right behind you. You just never noticed her until one of the boys saw her and sent her on her way. But that never discouraged her or any of the girls. They all had their eyes hooked on you, George. Especially Violet and Mary. Why, you just never took the bait until Gabe's graduation party, where you and Mary danced Charleston all night long, until someone tripped the wire on the moving gym floor, and everyone either jumped or tripped into the swimming pool.
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon? Hot dog, that was just like the church choir.
Beautiful.
You should have seen the commotion in the locker room. I had to knock down 3 people just to get this stuff we're wearing. Better half your class jumped into that pool.
Half the town said it wasn't a good idea to build a gym floor over a swimming pool. I wonder who turned the key.
Probably someone jealous because you chose me to dance with you.
You think, baby?
Sure. Here, let me hold that old wet dress of yours. Hello.
Hello. You look at me as if you don't know me.
Well, I don't.
You pass me on the street almost every day.
Me?
Uh-huh.
No, that wasn't you. That was just a little girl named Mary Hatch.
Do I look as funny as you do?
Well, I guess I'm not quite the football type, but you look wonderful. As a matter of fact, if I wasn't the one saying it, I'd say you're the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18.
18? Well, it was just last year. You were 17.
Too young or too old?
Oh, no. Your age fits you. In fact, you look a little older without your clothes on. No, I mean, without the robe, you look a little older. No, I mean, oh, sorry.
Sir, my train, please.
A pox upon me for a clumsy lout. Your caboose, madam.
You may kiss my hand.
Marry her.
As I was lumbering down the street,
All right, then. I'll just throw a rock at the old Grandville house.
George, don't! I love that old place.
No, you see, you're supposed to make a wish and then try to break some glass in it. Gotta be a pretty good shot nowadays, because most of the windows on the first floor are already broken out.
George, please don't. It's full of romance, and I'd like to live in it.
In that place?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't want to live in it if I was a ghost. Watch, right there on the 2nd floor.
What did you wish for?
Well, it wasn't just one wish, Mary. It's a whole hatful, see? See, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow, and the next week, and the year after that. I'm getting out of here, shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my shoes, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And after that's all done, I'm going to go to college and see what they know. And then finally, I'm going to build things like skyscrapers 100 stories high, or bridges that go a mile long. Or... You going to throw a rock? Hey, that was a pretty good shot. What'd you wish for?
No.
Come on, you can tell me.
If I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, man? You want the moon? Just say the word, I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. That's a pretty good idea. I think I'll give you the moon.
I'll take it, and then what?
Well, then you can swallow it. All dissolved, see, in moonbeams, but shoot out your fingers and your toes and out the ends of your hair. Am I talking too much?
Yes, you are.
What?
Why don't you kiss her and stop talking to your dad?
Who said that?
You know, Larry, youth is just wasted on the wrong people.
No, wait a minute. Bert. Hey, Bert, Ernie, you come back here and I'll show you some kissing that'll turn your head around.
Just wasted.
George! George, come quick, it's your pop. He's had a stroke.
Pop? Oh my gosh, Mary, I'm sorry, I have to go. Did you send for a doctor?
Campbell's there now.
It sure was nice of you to come by, Mr. Potter.
Well, I'd say your father was the building and loan here in Bedford Falls, George.
I agree, Mr. Potter.
But he wasn't a businessman, and that's what killed him. I mean, no disrespect, George. God rest the man's soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. So at our next board meeting, I'm going to make a motion.
A motion?
That's right. A motion to dissolve the institution and turn its assets and liabilities over to receivership.
Now, Mr. Potter, you can't do that.
Take this loan application the board's to act on this morning. Ernie Bishop. You know, that man that walks around all day delivering our mail. Usually late because he's always stopping and talking to everyone on his route. I happen to know that the bank turned down his loan. But he came to the building and loan, and we were willing to build him a house worth $5,000. Why?
I handled that personally, Mr. Potter. You have all of his information right there, his salary and his insurance. And, well, I can personally vouch for his character.
So he's a friend of yours.
Yes, sir.
So if you shoot pool with the manager's son, you can borrow money. What does that get the building and loan? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like your father stir them up and fill their heads with impossible ideas.
Hold on a minute, Mr. Potter. You're right to say my father was no businessman. Even I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny-ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character. His whole life was... In the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this institution, he never once thought of himself or saved any money. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? You know that rabble you're talking about? They do most of the living and working and paying and dying in this community. Is it too much to have them live and work and pay and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? My father didn't think so. They were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man with cattle, In my book, my father died a much richer man than you'll ever
I'm
be.
not interested in your book, young man. I'm talking about the building and lawn.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers around, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. Thank you for coming by, Mr. Potter. I'll see you at the meeting.
You're not on the board.
I hold my father's proxy. I can attend and cast a vote. You see the way I see it? This town needs our family's one horse institution. If only for some place to go without crawling to you.
Get me out of here. I'm still going to make my motion, young man. We'll see who has the power in this town.
But you spoke eloquently at that meeting, George. Remember, they voted Potter down.
Yes, on one condition I hadn't banked on, though.
That's right, that you get your father's business. And you did. And you turned over all your school money so that Harry could go to college.
Harry became a football star, made second team All-American.
So that's right. And you got 4 years older.
That's for nothing.
Hello, Mom.
What are you doing now? You're wishing on the moon?
No, I've given that up. I'm just getting some fresh air.
Did you hear that Mary Hatch is back in town?
Yeah, I did.
Came back 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Nice girl, Mary.
Uh-huh.
The kind that would help you find the answers, George.
Uh-huh.
Can you give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary Hatch?
Sure. Sam Wainwright. That's right, Sam's crazy about Mary.
Well, she isn't crazy about him.
How do you know? Did she discuss it with you?
No.
Well, then how do you know?
Well, I've got eyes, haven't I? She likes it like a firefly whenever you're around.
Oh.
Besides, Sam Wainwright's away in New York, and you're right here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war.
Well, I don't know about war.
You know, Mother, I can see straight through you right to your back collar button. You're trying to get rid of me.
Uh-huh.
All right, Mother, old building and loan pal. I think I'll go out, find a girl, and do a little passionate necking.
George!
Now, if you'll just point me in the right direction. This way? Good night, Miss Bailey.
Well, hello, George and Porgy.
Hello, Violet. Hey, how's business down at ye old-fashioned permanent wave shop?
Well, it's not a tidal wave yet, but I've got some city mothers coming in thanks to you. Well, what gives with you?
Nothing.
Well, where are you going?
No, probably end up down at the library.
George, don't you just ever get tired of reading about things?
Yes, I do. What are you doing tonight, Violet?
Not a thing.
What do you say? Are you game? You want to make a night of it?
Well, I'd love to, George. What do we do?
Well, first we can go out to the field and take our shoes off and walk through the wet grass. And then we can climb up to Mount Bedford, up to the falls. And we can sit up there all night and smell the pines and watch the sunrise. And everybody in town will be talking. It'll be a terrific scandal.
George, walking the grass in our bare feet? Have you gone crazy? And Mount Bedford, I mean, it's got to be at least a 10-mile hike.
Forget it. It was just a crazy idea.
You're telling me. Good night, George.
Well, there you are.
Hello. I just happened to be passing by.
Yes, so I noticed. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
About what?
Paying a visit. Your mother phoned and said you were on your way over.
Oh, she did? I wonder how she knew.
Didn't you tell her?
I didn't tell anybody. I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by.
Well, would you like to come up on the porch for a minute?
Maybe just for a minute. When did you get back?
Tuesday.
Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's okay. You know, I thought you'd stay in New York with Sam and Angie and the rest of them.
Oh, I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know, I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family. Everything. Aren't you coming up?
Just for a minute, but I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here.
Would you rather leave?
No. I mean, I don't want to be rude.
Then come on up. Buffalo Gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight?
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight and dance by the light of the moon?
Mary what's down there with you? It's George Bailey, Mother. George Bailey. What does he want? I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
George, go home right now, and don't you leave this house either. Sam Wainwright said he'd call you from New York tonight. And there he is now. Good night, George.
I better be
No,
going.
wait.
Mary, come get the phone.
Hello? Oh, hi, Sam. How are you? Oh, you'd never guess who's here. It's George Bailey. George, it's Sam. He wants to talk to you.
It's me?
Hurry, it's long distance.
Hello, Sam?
Well, George Bailey-Oski. Hey, a fine pal you are. What are you trying to do, steal my girl?
What are you talking about? Nobody's trying to steal your girl. Here's Mary.
Wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
He wants you to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension. You're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. Now, George, do you remember that night at Martini's bar where you told me you read someplace about making plastics out of soybeans?
What? Oh, soybeans, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My dad snapped up the idea. He's going to build a company outside of Rochester. Mary, you're in on this too. Now, George, do you have any money?
Money? Yeah, a little. Why?
Why don't you just put every cent you got into our stocks, you hear? I may have a job for you. That is, unless you're still married to that old broken down building alone. This is the biggest thing since radio, and I'm letting you in on the ground floors. Oh, and Mary,
I'm listening.
will you tell that guy I'm giving him the chance of a lifetime? You hear? The chance of a lifetime.
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Sam, I don't want any ground floors or plastics or soybeans or factories or jobs. I don't want any of it, Sam. And I don't want to get married to anyone ever.
In on this. Hope you float away to happy land on the boat.
Hey, look at this. Champagne.
Thank you, Ernie.
By the way, where are you two going on this here now honeymoon?
Where are we going? Here. Here's the kitty, Ernie. Go on, count it. Mary, look at that.
I feel like a bootlegger.
We're gonna shoot the works.
Look.
We're gonna have a whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Well, that does it. Then what?
Then what?
After that, who cares?
That does it.
Break anything up. There's something fishy going down to the bank. It's got all the earmarks on the run.
Oh my gosh.
If you got any money in the bank, folks, I'd go down there quick.
Oh, Mary, I've gotta go.
George, please, let's not stop.
I'll just be a minute, Mary, I promise.
Please, go.
What's the meaning of this one, Billy? Holiday?
This is what I'd call a pickle, George. A real pickle.
How did it start?
How does anything like this ever start? All I know is the bank called the loan.
Oh, they did when?
About an hour ago. Had to hand over all the cash we had.
All of it?
Every cent, and it still wasn't what we owed.
Holy mackerel. Hello, Mr. Potter. What an unexpected visit.
George, there's a rumor going around town that you're going to close your doors early. Is it true?
Not for another 6 minutes. That's our regular closing time.
Glad to hear it, George. Glad. George, are you all right? You want me to call the sheriff?
What for?
Mobs can get pretty ugly sometimes.
Now, Mr. Potter, I can assure you all of our customers are very polite.
Sure. I'm going all out to help this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close down for a week and then reopen.
You've taken over the bank, too?
I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people too. Folks, just bring your shares by the bank later and I'll pay you 50 cents on the dollar.
Then, Mr. Potter, that really won't be necessary. We'll take care of our customers right here.
Just make sure you don't close your doors before 6 p.m., George Bailey, or they'll never reopen. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, 50 cents on the dollar.
You never miss a trick, do you, Potter? You're gonna miss this one. Now, don't panic, folks. You heard Mr. Potter. The bank will open in a week.
But I've got my money here, George.
No, Miss Andrews, you're thinking of this place all wrong. If I had the money back there in a safe somewhere, your money's not here. It's in the Grange's house, in the Macklin house, and that Kennedy house, right next to yours. See, when you bought your shares, you lent them money to Bill. Well, what are you gonna do, foreclose on them?
I've got $242 here, George Bailey. And $242 isn't gonna break anybody.
All right, I'll give you a paper to sign, and then you'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
That's what you agreed to when you bought your shares.
Are you going to Potter's? Better to get half than nothing.
Oh, Miss Andrews, wait. Miss Thompson, everybody listen to me. Potter's already got control of everything else in town. He's got the bus lines, the department stores. He's after us now. Why? Because we're cutting in on his business, that's why. If he gets control of the building and loan, there'll never be another decent home built in this town. We can't let him do that. We can get through this thing. We have to stick together. We have to have faith in each other.
But my husband hasn't worked in over a year, George. I need money.
How are we going to live into the bank reopen?
We have doctor bills to pay.
Yes, George, I need cash.
And I can't feed my kids on the bank.
How much do you need?
Hey, that's right. I've got $2,000 here. Miss Andrews, how much do you need?
$242.
How much just until the bank reopens?
I'll take $242.
There.
That'll close my account.
Your account's still here. That's a loan. Ernie, how much do you need?
I got $200 here, George.
Now, come on, Ernie. Just enough to tide you through the week until the bank reopens.
I guess I could buy it with $20.
$20. Now you're talking, Ernie. Thanks. Miss Thompson, how about you?
It's your own money, George.
Don't worry about that. How much do you need?
I guess I can get along with $20, all right?
All right.
And I'll sign a paper.
You don't have to sign anything. I know you'll pay it back when you can. All right, Miss Martini.
Can we have $17.50?
Of course you can. Uncle Billy, do you have 50 cents?
Thank you, George.
Here, take over, would you? Hello, Mrs. Bailey.
Hello, Mr. Bailey. How's business?
Booming.
Well, at least you have a place to come home to. Most of the windows are broken out, and the roof leaks in a place or two, but the structure's down, and there isn't a crack in the foundation.
What are you talking about?
32 Sycamore.
Well, wait, that's...
Remember the nights we broke the window? That's what I wish for, and I've been saving ever since. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary? We've only been married an hour.
Actually, 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 40 some odd seconds to be exact.
You're wonderful.
3, 2, 1. We made it, George. And we're still in business. We've got $2 left.
All right, well, pop the champagne. I'd say we're a couple of financial wizards.
Those Rockefellers.
Here, let's open the safe for these two big old important simoleons.
Yeah, we're safe and proceed.
Well, here's to Mama Dollar and to Papa Dollar. And if they want to stay in business, they better have a family real quick.
I wish there was rabbits.
That's great, Aunt Sally. Here's to rabbits.
Bread that this house may never know hunger, and salt that this life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign in this house forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
Mr. Bailey's just arrived, sir.
Good, tell him to wait. You were saying?
As you know, he's built up a whole subdivision out next to the cemetery. Dozens and dozens of the prettiest little homes you ever saw. I'm thinking seriously of purchasing one myself.
Don't you dare.
The point is, Mr. Potter, that 90% of those residents used to pay rent to you. Now, if I were you, Mr. Potter,
Well, you're not me, are you?
as I say, I'm just a lowly banking saver. But if you're not careful, one of these days...
Miss Carter, I'm a busy man. I haven't time for idle conjecture.
Good day.
Cut into my resume. Well, I'll show you a trick or two.
Yes, sir?
Send Bailey in.
Right away, sir.
George, so nice to see you again.
You too, Mr. Potter. You know, this is quite an unusual request.
What's that?
You asking me to pay you a visit.
Don't know what's so unusual about it. Just thought the two of us should get better acquainted. Here, have a cigar.
Thank you, Mr. Potter. Boy, this is quite a cigar.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
I'm sure I'll find out sooner or later, but just what is it that I'm here about?
Well, that's just what I like so much about you. George, I'm an old man. Most people hate me. But I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. You also know that I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey building alone. You also know for a number of years, I've been trying to get control of it, kill it. Haven't been able to do either. George, you've been stopping me. Better yet, you beat me. As many people in this town can tell you, that takes some doing. Take your new depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones that kept our heads. You saved the building and loan. I saved all the rest.
Most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George, the suckers. Now, I have stated my side very frankly. Let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, making, say, 40 a week?
45.
45. After which, supporting your mother, wife, and paying the bills, you're able to keep, say, 10. You skim. Child or two comes along, you won't even be able to save the 10. Now, if this young man of 28 was a common, ordinary yokel, I'd say he was doing just fine. But George Bailey is no common, ordinary yokel. He's a smart, intelligent, ambitious young man who hates his job and pays the bills alone almost as much as I did. Young man who's been dying to get out on his own ever since he was born. A young man who's had to sit by and watch his friends go places while he's stuck. He's stuck playing nursemaid to a bunch of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture? Or do I exaggerate?
What's your point to all that, Mr. Potter?
My point? My point is I want to hire you.
Hire me?
I want you to manage my affairs, George. Run my properties. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town? Buying your wife a lot of fine clothes? Maybe a couple business trips to New York here? Once in a while a year? Wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Would I? You're not talking to someone else around here. This is me, George Bailey. You remember me?
Yes. George Bailey, the man whose ship has just come in, providing he has the brains to climb aboard.
But what about the building and loan?
Confound it, man, are you afraid of success? I'm offering you a 3-year contract starting out at $20,000 a year. Now, is it a deal, or isn't it?
Mr. Potter, I know I should jump at the chance, but I wonder if it would be possible to have 24 hours just to think it over.
Sure. You go home and talk things over with your wife.
I'd like to do that, Mr. Potter.
Meantime, I'll draw up the necessary papers.
Thank you, Mr. Potter.
Have a nice day, George.
I don't have to talk to anyone. I've decided I know the answer right now. The answer's no. No, doggone it, no! You sit here and you spin all of your little webs. You think the whole town, the whole world revolves around you and your money. It doesn't, Mr. Potter. In fact, the whole vast configuration of everything. I'd say you are nothing more than a scurvy little spider. That goes for you, too! That goes for you, too!
Hi.
Hi.
Been a rough day. Buffalo Gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out
Mary
tonight?
Patch. Why did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
I know, but you could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
But you didn't even get a honeymoon. I promise you that... You're what?
My baby?
Mary, are you on the nest?
In a manner of speaking.
Well, is it a boy or a girl?
You were on top of the world then, George Bailey. Couldn't have been happier.
Yes. But that was nearly 10 years ago. We've had a war since then.
Yes, and your wife has not only given birth to one, but 4 beautiful children. And your brother Harry, why, he's been decorated with the Congressional Medal of Honor. President decorates Harry Bailey.
That was the headline in this morning's paper.
That's right, around 10 a.m. That's when it all started. And you were on the way by your Christmas tree. And Uncle Billy, oh, Uncle Billy, he was on his way to the bank.
Extra, extra! Local Woman's Congressional Medal of Honor! Harry Bailey to be decorated by President!
Here, give me one of those. One of those Bailey boys again.
Well, good morning, Mr. Potter. What's the news this morning? President decorates Harry Bailey. Say, that wouldn't be one of those Bailey boys now, would it? Seems like you just can't keep those Bailey boys down, can you, Mr. Potter?
How does Slacker George feel about it?
Oh, Slacker George is very jealous. Very jealous indeed. He lost 3 buttons off his vest this morning. Of course, he'd have gotten 2 of those medals, at least, had he been allowed to go.
Yeah, I know, he's got that bad ear.
That's right. And after all, some people like George had to stay behind. Not every heel's in Germany and Japan.
Give me my paper. Go buy your own paper if you want to drool all over it. Hey, wait.
Why not? Yes, why not?
Take me to the bank.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
George, Harry's on the phone.
Harry? What do you know about that?
He would burst the charges. It's okay, isn't it?
Okay, for a war hero? Hello, Harry? Oh, the old 7 kinds of a son of a gun. Hey, how's Mother standing? Oh, she did? Mother had lunch with the president's wife.
Wait till Bill hears about this. What did they have to eat?
Well, what did they have to eat, Harry? Yeah? You should see what they're cooking up for you in town. Has Uncle Billy coming yet?
No, he stopped the bank first.
He's not here right now, Harry.
George,
Tell me all about it.
George,
Hang on. What?
the woman's here again.
What woman?
The bank examiner woman.
Talk to Aunt Tilly again for a minute, would you? Hello, Violet.
George, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure. Here, could you wait in my office? I'll be right there. Hello, Miss,
Carter, bank examiner.
Merry Christmas, Miss Carter.
Merry Christmas.
You'll have to excuse us. We're all a little excited around here. My brother just got the Congressional Medal of Honor. The president just decorated it.
Well, I guess they do those things.
Well,
I trust you had a good year?
between you and me, Miss Carter, we're broke.
Very funny.
Well, you know, what with
Well, I
everything that's-
shouldn't wonder when you pay reverse charges on long-distance calls.
George, should I hang up?
No, he wants to talk to Uncle Billy. Just Hold on a minute.
Now, if you'll cooperate, I'd like to be finished with you by tonight. I'd like to spend Christmas in Elmira with my sister and her family.
I don't blame you at all, Miss Carter. Here, I think Uncle Billy has everything laid out for you.
So,
Not now.
but it's Harry, your nephew, remember?
I can't talk to anyone
There's
now.
Uncle Billy, Harry.
Hello? Hi, Daddy. No, I'm fine. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Everything's fine.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes?
Oh, another Mr. Bailey, who usually does fine, possibly better. May I speak with you a moment? I have some questions.
For me? Oh, dear. Where's George?
In his office with Violet.
Tell him to speak to him just as soon as he gets out.
Well, if I had character, I'd
Now,
probably...
Violet, you know it takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start over again. Here.
No, George, I'm not taking your money.
Now look, you're broke, aren't you?
I know, but I can't accept...
What are you gonna do? Hawk your furs? Get that nice purse? Are you gonna walk to New York? And you know they charge for rent meals up there just like they do here in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
Besides, I know you can pay it back because you'll get a job.
Glad I know you, George Bailey.
Well, let's hear from you, okay? Merry Christmas, Violet.
Merry Christmas, George.
Mr. Bailey, there seems to be a problem here.
A problem? How do you mean?
George, I think I need to talk to you alone.
What's going on, Uncle Billy?
George.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that your bad ear? Let me just...
No.
Then you heard me.
Yes. How much? All of it?
I'm afraid so, George.
You didn't buy anything with it?
No.
But you had it with you on your way to the bank.
Yeah, I was counting it, I think.
You think? Uncle Billy, we have to find that money.
I know, George. I'm no good to you anymore.
Now, come on. Is there any place you could have hidden it in your house? Some sort of secret hiding place?
No, nothing like that.
Think, Uncle Billy, think.
I've been thinking, George. I've been thinking all day, and I can't think anymore.
Do you understand what this means? It means bankruptcy. It means scandal.
No.
It means prison. It means one of us is going. And it won't be me.
Hello, darling. Daddy! Hello, Daddy. How do you like it? Bless you. Did you bring the wreath? Daddy, did you bring the Christmas wreath?
What wreath?
The Christmas wreath for the window.
No, I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, it just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
I left them at the office too.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? I bet I had 50 phone calls today about the banquet and the parade. And you
Must she
better
keep playing that?
She's practicing for the party tonight.
Mommy says we can stay until Christmas. Till midnight, sing Christmas carols.
Did she stay up too, Daddy?
The Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
What's wrong with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy. You better hurry and stay, George. The families will be here soon.
I don't want the families over here right now. Zuzu, what's the matter with you?
She caught a cold coming home from school today. They gave her this flower for prize, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button her coat up. Go to bed, darling. I want to get my flower a drink.
What's wrong with you? Do you have a sore throat or what?
Well, it's just a cold. The doctor says it's nothing serious.
The doctor? Was the doctor over here?
Yes, I called him right away. He says it's nothing to worry about.
Well, do you have a fever?
I don't think so. It's just a teensy one, 99.6.
All right, Susie, you better get back upstairs. The floor's cold down here.
But Mom, she needs a drink.
Now.
I'll bring you a vase of water in a minute. I'm no long.
It's this house. It's a drafty old barn. It's like living in a refrigerator. I don't know why we all don't have pneumonia or I don't know why we stayed around this crummy town in the first place.
George, what's wrong?
How do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey.
Yes, I'm Zuzu's father. What kind of teacher are you anyway, sending her home half naked? You know she'll probably end up with pneumonia on account of you. Is this the kind of thing we pay taxes for, to have people like you who are silly and stupid and careless? You know...
Mrs. Mudge, I'd like to apologize. Hello? Hello? She hung up.
Hang her up. Hello? Oh no, it's Mr. Welch. All right, well, I'm so glad it's you. Gives me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George.
Oh, you will, huh? All right, Mr. Welch. Anytime you think you're man enough, you can... Hello? Hung up.
How do you spell hallelujah?
I don't know. What do I look like? Some kind of human dictionary? And Janie, you've been playing that stupid tune over and over again. Stop it! You've got to help me, Mr. Potter. Through some sort of accident, my company is short in their accounts. I need to raise $8,000 immediately.
So that's what the reporters wanted to talk to me about.
There were reporters?
Yes, they called me from down at your building in Lone. There's a man down there from the DA's office who wants to speak with you.
Can't you see what it would mean to me, Mr. Potter? What it would mean to my family? I'll pay you any sort of bonus on the loan, any sort of interest. If you still want the building alone, I just...
George. Could there's some slight discrepancy in your books?
No, sir, there's nothing wrong with the books. I've misplaced $8,000 and I can't find it anywhere.
You've misplaced $8,000.
Yes, sir.
You notified the police?
No, sir, I didn't want the publicity. What with Harry's homecoming tomorrow, and we have to get ready, we have to set
I
everything
don't
up.
believe that. What have you been doing, George? Playing the market with the company's money?
No, sir, nothing like that.
A woman then? It's all over town you've been giving money to Violet Peterson.
What?
Not that it makes any difference to me, George, but why'd you come here? Why not go to Sam Wainwright for help?
I couldn't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What about your other friends?
They don't have that kind of money, Mr. Potter. You know that. You're the only one in town that can help me.
I see. I've suddenly become quite important. What kind of security would I have, George? Have you got any stocks?
No, sir.
Bonds, real estate, collateral of any kind?
I do have a $15,000 life insurance policy.
What's your equity on it?
$500.
Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You know, you once called me a work-frustrated old man. What are you now, the work-frustrated young man? Miserable little clerk crawling in here on your hands and knees begging for help. Nothing but a miserable little $500 equity in life insurance. You know, you're worth more dead than alive. Why don't you go to that riprap you love so much and ask them for money? I'll tell you why. They'd run you out of town on a rail. I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, George. As a stockholder in the building and loan, I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation, malfeasance.
No!
Go ahead, George. You can't hide in a little town like this.
You've got to help me out here, God.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
George Bailey, won't you come and join us?
I'm sorry. Not tonight, Mr. Martini.
Wait a minute, did he just call you George Bailey? Yeah, this is the brother of the man who won the Congressional Medal of Honor.
And the next time you talk to me wife like that, you'll get worse! She cried for an hour, wouldn't even come out with us tonight!
That's enough, Mr. Welch, that's enough!
not.
It's bad enough she slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. You have to go out! Ah, the heck with it. I'm going home.
Come on, everyone, it's Christmas Eve. We're supposed to be spreading good cheer.
Yes, aren't we going to sing anymore?
Of course.
Carol angels sing glory
Yes, Ernie, yeah.
Want to take it home?
No, I'll be right. You go on with your friends.
Sure.
Where's my life insurance policy?
What's that?
Nothing, Ernie. I promise I'm fine.
You coming, Ernie?
Yes, I'll be right there. Sure you'll be all right.
Yes, Ernie. I promise I'm fine.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Ernie. God, Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but, well, if you're out there and you can hear me, show me the way, show me a sign. I'm at the end of my rope. I have nowhere else to go. Show me the way, God.
And that's where I came in.
You mean you actually heard my prayer up there?
Yours and a dozen others. Why, you'd be surprised how many people are concerned about you.
Not after they find out I've ruined their lives.
George, you haven't ruined anybody's lives. Besides, it wasn't your fault.
I'm the head of the company. I'm to be held accountable. Ask Mr. Potter, he'll tell you.
And you think killing yourself for measly $8,000 would settle everything?
I don't know. I suppose everything would be better if I had never even been born.
What did you say?
I said I wish I had never even been born.
You mustn't say things like that. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now there's an idea. What do you think? Uh-huh. All right. You've got your wish. You've never been born.
What are you talking about?
You don't have to make all the fuss about it.
What?
You've never been born. You don't exist. You have no obligation in the world. No $8,000, no...
Say something else in that ear.
Sure, you can hear out of it.
You know, that's the doggonest thing. I haven't been able to hear anything out of that ear since I was a kid. What's going on here?
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. So give us some change.
Oh, look, there's two more suckers over there. Let's go sing.
Dominic?
Oh, that's my name and this is my poison. You want some?
Mr. Martini? Don't you recognize me?
Dominic, he knows your name. And now we've got to sing.
Where's your wife? Where's Mrs. Martini?
She's home with the kids, and that makes a good night run.
No, I just saw her. Her and lots of other women and children, too.
Where? What are you talking about? You're not about to snitch on us, are you?
Whoa.
Wait a minute. I know you. You already hit me just a minute ago.
I did. Did you hear that? I already hit him. Did it hurt? Let's retry it again.
Whoa. Let's leave this guy alone. He's worse off than we are. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Look out! That's the bad again. He's got up with us. Frick.
Mr. Gower?
Hey, one of you guys got a dime or two you could spare? Or a drink? I'll say.
Mr. Gower? Mr. Gower, don't you recognize me? I'm George Bailey. You own the corner drugstore. I used to work for you when I was a kid.
No, I don't like you. That runhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning a kid.
Yeah, and if you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Come on, guys, let's get out of here.
Hey, wait for me.
No.
What happened to Mr. Gower?
You weren't there to stop Mr. Gower from putting the poison in the medicine.
What are you talking about? I wasn't there. I remember it very clearly.
What don't you understand? You're not born. You don't exist.
What do you mean, not born? I was born July 2nd, 1907, right here in Bedford Falls.
You won't find any public record of it. Besides, it's not Bedford Falls anymore. It's Cartersville.
Pottersville? No. Violet?
Well, that's what they call me.
I'm so glad to see you.
Well, I'm glad to see you too. Who gave you my name? You new in town?
I'm George.
Well, of course you are, and if anybody asks me, I've never seen or heard of you before.
But you have. We grew up together.
I don't think so good looking, but I sure wish we had.
Violet. Don't you recognize me?
Well, we have all night. Do you want to tell me about it?
Your name is Violet Peterson. You were born in 1910. Oh, no, wait, 1911. You graduated right here from a local high school.
Wait a minute. What are you, some sort of private eye? You know, I should have known. Don't you guys just ever give it a rest? It's Christmas Eve, for heaven's sake.
No, you don't understand.
Yes, I do. Well, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's my motto, so just give it a rest and go home.
No, Violet,
Or
wait.
I'll call somebody, George or whatever your name is, and I don't think you want me to do that. Merry Christmas.
A boarding house?
Well, what do you want? If you want a room, we've got no vacancy.
No. I'm just lost. Please let me in. I need some place where I can sit and sort things out.
I told you, we've got no vacancy. And besides, I don't keep in strangers unless they're referred by someone else. Try over on Maple Street, 163 Maple.
Wait. I know your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
How do you know him?
I've seen him around.
When? When did you see him around?
Today, over at his house.
That's a lie. My brother's been in the state asylum for over 5 years since he lost his business.
Well, what about your son, Harry?
My only son broke through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
No, he went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he's coming home tomorrow.
I'm going to call the police.
Clarence, he saved the lives of every man on that transport.
George, every man on that transport died because you weren't there to save Harry, and Harry wasn't there to save them. What don't you understand?
Clarence.
Yes, George?
Where's Mary?
I don't...
If you know where she is, please tell me.
George, this isn't a good idea.
Tell me, is she alive?
Yes, she's alive. But she's not the same Mary you know. Something happened. She changed.
Mary?
There must be an easier way to get my wings from this.
Mary!
Who are you? What do you want?
Don't you recognize me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mary, what's happened to us here?
Get away from me, I'll scream!
I'm your husband, George.
Don't touch me!
Mary, wait, please! Mary! Clarence! Clarence! Where are you? Clarence, I don't care what happens to me. I just want to get back. I want to get back to my wife, my kids. I want to live again, Clarence, please. Clarence!
George! What's going on, George? What the Sam are you yelling for?
I didn't touch her, I swear.
What are you talking about, George?
Bert, do you know me?
Know you? Are you kidding? I've been looking out all over town for you. Half the town's out looking for you. What's going on?
And Mary?
Yes, Mary called, and Uncle Billy and Mr. Martini, your mama called too. What's going on?
What's going on, Bert? Look around you. Look at me. It's living, it's breathing, it's alive, it exists. Merry Christmas, Bert.
I think I better take you home, George.
No, Bert, I promise. I'm fine. I just have to find Mary. Mary!
Daddy!
Oh, kids! Hello, Miss Bank-Examiner.
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit we must discuss.
I know, isn't it wonderful? Mwah! Merry Christmas. Have you seen my wife? Where's Mary?
For you with Uncle Billy.
She did?
George,
Mary!
where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, hallelujah.
You have no
I
idea what
mean,
happened.
Mary.
Now see right here about the George. It's a miracle.
What?
You won't believe what happened. Everybody come in now. Uncle Billy, he did it.
What?
It's a miracle, George. You wouldn't believe it.
It didn't work for George. Mary went all around town telling people about our problem. No one asked any questions. They just said, If George Bailey needs my help, you can count on me.
What is this, George? Another run on the bank?
I wouldn't have to put my head in George. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Glad to do it, George. Anytime for you, Mr. Bailey.
I made the run of all my charge counts, George.
I changed my mind, George. I'm not going.
Now hold on, everybody. This is from London. Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office is instructed to advance up to $25,000. Stop. Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
Harry! Oh, looks like I got here just in time. Anybody got wine, champagne? I'd like to make a toast to my brother, the richest man in town. Come on, everyone. Wait. Some little man at the airport told me to give this to you.
Tom Sawyer? Who would give you a beat-up copy of Tom Sawyer?
Remember, George, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence. It's a Christmas gift from a very dear friend of mine.
Listen, Daddy.
What is it, sweetheart?
Here's a bell teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Oh, that's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne?
And days of old lang syne, my dear, and days of old lang syne. Should old acquaintance be forgot, and days of old lang syne. And there's a hand, my trusty friend, and dear one hand of thine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. All what comes